format specifiers are what we use when we want to replace some of the contents of a string with our own values. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's say that we have a message that we want to output to the console at some point in our program. And it's something like this. Here's an NSLog statement with the string being written out in full with the @ sign in front of it the way we have to do in Objective-C. And it says, on 8/22/09, the weather in Ventura is 76 degrees. The things that I've highlighted in red, I actually want to be replaced when this code runs with the value of some variables. Now, the way I do this is using format specifiers. I'm really going to replace these words with placeholders, if you will, that will be replaced at the time this code runs. Now, I use different placeholders because there's different kinds of data that gets replaced here. There's a date, there's a string, and there's an integer for the temperature. And the way that I do that is replace what's in red with the following. I'm going to use the %sign, @ both together, no space, for the date, %sign, @ for where the city was, and the % D for the temperature. Now, why is this? Why do I use the @ for two of them and D for one? Well, it's because the %sign, @ is the placeholder, the format specifier for an object. An NSDate is an object and an NSString is an object. So I use that for both. And then %sign D is what I use when I want to replace that with an integer. Now, there are other format specifiers. There's %sign F for, say, a floating point variable. If you want to get the full list, the best idea is to look at Apple's documentation or just Google Objective-C format specifiers. But this will actually get us pretty far, knowing the %sign, @ and %sign D. You have to be very careful about the order in which these happen, because the order in which you write them has to be exactly the same as the order in which you place your variables after the string finishes. So if we have the date being the object and then the city name being the object and the temperature being the integer, I need to then follow that string with date, city, temp. If I was rearranging them in any way, I'd need to rearrange the variables after the closing